Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavata-uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Answers by citing the Lord's version. Shri Shukavacha Atma Mayamrite Rajan Parasyanubhavatmanaha Na Gatetartha Sambandha Swapna Drashtur Ivajasa. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, unless one is influenced by the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no meaning to the relationship of pure soul in pure consciousness with the material body. That relationship is just like a dreamer seeing his own body working. बहुरूपा इव भाति मायया बहुरूपया रममानो गुणेश्वस्य ममाहम iti manyate. The illusioned living entity appears in so many forms offered by the external energy of the Lord. While enjoying in the modes of material nature, the encaged living entity misconceives, thinking in terms of I and mine. यर्हि वावमहिम्नि स्वे परस्मिन् कालमाययोः रमेतगतसम्मोहस्त्यक्त्वोदाष्टे तदोभयम्. As soon as the living entity becomes situated in his constitutional glory and begins to enjoy the transcendental beyond time and material energy, he at once gives up the two conceptions of life, I and mine, and thus becomes fully manifested as the pure self. आत्मपतत् आत्मतत्त्वविशुद्ध्यर्थं यदाहं भगवानृतं ब्रह्मणे दर्शयन् रूपम् अव्यलीकव्रताद्रतः. O king, the personality of Godhead, being very much pleased with Lord Brahma because of his non deceptive penance in Bhakti Yoga, presented his eternal and transcendental form before Brahma. And that is the objective goal for purifying the conditioned soul. स आदिदेवो जगतां परो गुरुः स्वधिष्ण्यम् आस्थाय शिष्क्रशयैक्षताम् तां नाध्यगच्छद् दृशम् अत्र सम्मतां प्रपञ्च निर्माणविधिर्यया भवेत्. Lord Brahma, the first spiritual master, supreme in the universe, could not trace out the source of his lotus seat, and while thinking of creating the material world, he could not understand the proper direction for such creative work, nor could he find out the process of for such creation. सचिन्तयन्वी अक्षरम् एकदाम्भसि उपाशृणोद्विर्गदितं वचो विभुः स्पर्शेषु यत् षोडशाम् एकविंशां निष्किञ्चनानां नृप यद्धनं विदुः. While thus engaged in thinking in the water, Brahmaji heard twice from nearby two syllables joined together. One of the syllables was taken from the 16th and the other from the 21st of the Sparsha alphabets, and both joined to become the wealth of the renounced order of life. निशम्य तद्वक्र दिदृक्षया दिशो विलोक्य तत्रान्यद् अपश्यमानः स्वधिष्ण्याम् आस्थाय विम्श्रय तद्दितं तपसि उपादिष्ट इवाददे मनः. When he heard the sound, he tried to find the speaker, searching on all sides, But when he was unable to find anyone besides himself, he thought it wise to sit down on his lotus seat firmly and give his attention to the execution of penance as he was instructed. दिव्यं सहस्राब्धम् अमोघदर्शनो जितानिलात्मा विजितो भयेन्द्रियः अतप्त स्माखिललोकतापनं तपस्तपीयं तपतां समाहितः. Lord Brahma underwent penances for 1,000 years by the calculations of the demigods. He heard this transcendental vibration from the sky and he accepted it as divine. Thus, he controlled his mind and senses, and the penances he executed were a great lesson for the living entities. Thus, he is known as the greatest of all ascetics. तस्मै स्वलोकं भगवान् सभाजितः सन्दर्शयामास परं न यत्परं व्यपेत संक्लेप सॉरी संक्लेश विमोहसाध्वशं स्वदृष्टवब्धेर्पुरुषैरभिष्टुतम् अभिष्टुतम्. The personality of Godhead, being thus very much satisfied with the penance of Lord Brahma, was pleased to manifest his personal abode, Vaikuntha, the supreme planet above all others. This transcendental abode of the Lord is adorned by all self realized persons, freed from all kinds of miseries and fear of illusory existence. प्रवृत्ते प्रवृत्तते यत्र रजस्तमस्तयो सत्त्वं च मिश्रं च कालविक्रमः न यत्र माया किम् उता परे हरेरनुव्रता यत्र सुरासुराचिता. In that personal abode of the Lord, the material modes of ignorance and passion do not prevail, nor is there any of their influence in goodness. There is no predominance of the influence of time. So, what to speak of the illusory external energy? It cannot enter that region. Without discrimination, both the demigods and the demons worship the Lord as devotees. श्यामावदातः शतपत्रलोचना पिशङ्गवस्त्राः सुरुचः सुपेशशः सर्वे चतुर्बाहव उन्मिषन्मणिप्रवेकनिष् प्रवेकनिष्काभरणाः सुवर्चसः. The inhabitants of the Vaikuntha planets are described as having a glowing sky bluish complexion. Their eyes resemble lotus flowers, their dress is of yellow colors, and their bodily features very attractive. They are just the age of growing youths. They all have four hands. They are all nicely decorated with pearl necklaces with ornamental medallions, and they all appear to be effulgent. प्रवालवैढूर्य मृणाल वर्चसः परिस्फुरत् कुण्डल मौलिमालिनः. Some of them are effulgent like coral and diamonds in complexion and have garlands on their heads, blooming like lotus flowers, and some wear earrings. ब्राजिष्णुभिर्यः परितो विराजते लसद्विमानावलिभिर्महात्मनाम् विद्योत्तमानः प्रमदोत्तमाद्युद्भिः सविद्युत् अभ्रावलिभिर्यथा नभः. The Vaikuntha planets are also surrounded by various airplanes, all glowing and brilliantly situated. These airplanes belong to the great Mahatmas or devotees of the Lord. The ladies are as beautiful as lightning because of their celestial complexions. And all these combined together appear just like the sky decorated with both clouds and lightning. श्रियेर्यत्र रूपिणी उरुगाय पादयोः करोति मानं बहुधा विभूतिभिः प्रियङ्ख्यं श्रिताया कुसुमाकरानुगैर्विगीयमाना प्रियकर्म Gayati. The goddess of fortune, in her transcendental form, is engaged in the loving service of the Lord's lotus feet, and being moved by the black bees, followers of spring, she not only engaged in variegated pleasure service to the Lord, along with her constant companions, but she also engaged in singing the glories of Lord's activities. ददर्श तत्राखिल सात्वतां पतिं श्रेय पतिं यज्ञपतिं जगत्पतिं सुनन्दनन्दप्रबलार्हनादिभिः स्वपार्षदाग्रै परिसेवितं विभुम्. Lord Brahma saw in the Vaikuntha planet the personality of Godhead, who is the Lord of the entire devotee community, the Lord of Goddess of fortune, the Lord of all sacrifices, and the Lord of all universe, and who is served by the foremost servitors like Nanda, Sunanda, Prabala, Arhana, his immediate associates. भृत्या प्रसादाभिमुखं दृक् आशवं प्रसन्नहासारुणलोचनाननं किरीटनं कुण्डलिनं चतुर्भुजं पीतां शुकं वक्षसि लक्षितं श्रिया. The personality of God had seen leaning favorably towards his loving servitors. His very sight, intoxicating and attractive, appeared to be very much satisfied. He had a smiling face decorated with a enchanting red hue. He was dressed in yellow robes and wore earrings and a helmet on his head. He had four hands, and his chest was marked with lines of goddess of fortune. अध्यर्हणीयासम् आस्थितं परं वृतं चतुः पञ्चशक्तिभिः युक्तं भगैः स्वैरितरत्र चाध्रुवै स स्व एव दामन् रमणां रममाणम् ईश्वरम्. Let me repeat again. One second. अध्यर्हणीयासनम् आस्थितं परं कृतं चतुष्षोडश पञ्चशक्तिभिः युक्तं भगैस्वैरितरत्र शाद्रुवैः स्व एव दामन् रममाणम् ईश्वरम्. The Lord was seated on his throne and was surrounded by different energies like the 4, the 16, 5, and 6 natural opulences, along with other insignificant energies of the temporary character. But he was the factual Supreme Lord, enjoying his own abode. तद्दर्शनाह्लाद परिप्लुतान्तरो हृत्यत् तनुः प्रेम भराश्रुलोचनः ननाम पादाम्बुजमस्य विश्वसृग् यत्पारमहंस्येन पताधिगम्यते. Lord Brahma, thus seeing the personality of God in his fullness, was overwhelmed with joy within his heart, and thus in full transcendental love and ecstasy, his eyes filled with tears of love. He thus bowed down before the Lord. That is the way of the highest perfection for living being, Paramahamsa. तं प्रीयमानं समुपस्थितं कविं प्रजाविसर्गे निजशासनार्हणं बभाष ईषत् स्मितशोचिष गिरा प्रियः प्रियं प्रीतिमनः करे स्पृशन्. And seeing Brahma present before him, the Lord accepted him as worthy to create living beings, to be controlled as he desired, and thus being much satisfied with him, the Lord shook hands with Brahma and slightly smiling addressed him thus. श्रीभगवानुवाच त्वयाहं तोषितः सम्यग् वेदगर्भशिश्रक्षया चिरं भृतेन तपसा तुष्टोषः Kuta Yoginam. The beautiful personality of God had addressed the Lord Brahma. O Brahma, impregnated with the Vedas, I am very much pleased with your long accumulated penance with the desire for creation. Hardly am I pleased with the pseudo mystics. वरं वरया भद्रं ते वरेषां माभिवाञ्छितं ब्रह्मन् श्रेय परिश्रामः पुंसां मद्दर्शनावधिः. I wish you good luck, O Brahma. You must ask from me the giver of all benediction, all that you may desire. You may know that the unlimited benediction, as the result of all penance, is to see me by realization. मनीषितानुभवोऽयं मम लोकावलोकनं यद् उपश्रुत्य रहसि चकर्त paramam tapaha. The highest perfectional ingenuity is the perfect personal perception of my abodes, and this has been possible because of your submissive attitude in the performance of severe penance according to my order. प्रत्यादिष्टं मया तत्र त्वयि कर्म विमोहिते तपो मे हृदयं साक्षात् आत्माहं तपसो नघ. O sinless Brahma, you may know from me that it was I who first ordered you to undergo penance when you were perplexed in your duty. Such penance is my heart and soul, and therefore penance and I are non-different. सृजामि तपसैवेदं गृशामि तपसा पुनः बिभर्हि तपसा विश्वं वीर्यं मे दुश्चरं तपः. I create this cosmos by such penance. I maintain it by the same energy, and I withdraw it all by the same energy. Therefore, the potency is penance only. ब्रह्म उवाच भगवान् सर्वभूतानां अध्यक्षो वस्थितो गुहां वेद हि अप्रतिरुद्धेन प्रज्ञानेन चिकीर्षितम्. Lord Brahma said, O personality of Godhead, you are situated in every living entity's heart as supreme director, and therefore you are aware of all endeavors by your superior intelligence without any hindrance whatsoever. तथापि नाथा मानस्य नाथ नाथया नातितं परावरे यथा रूपे जानीयां ते त्व अरूपिणः. In spite of that, my Lord, I am praying to you to kindly fulfill my desire. May I please be informed how, in spite of your transcendental form, you assume the mundane form, although you have no such form at all. यथात्मा माययोगेन नानाशक्ति उपबृंहितं विलुम विलुम्पन् विसृजन् गृह्णन् बिभ्रत् आत्मानं आत्मना. And please inform me how you, by your own self, manifest different energies for annihilation, generation, acceptance, and maintenance by combination and permutation. क्रीडसि अमोघ संकल्प पूर्णानाभिर्यथोर्नुते तथा तद विषयान् देहे मनीषां मयि माधव. O master of all energies, please tell me philosophically all about them. You play like a spider that covers itself by its own energy, and your determination is infallible. भगवत् शिक्षितम् अहं करवाणिः अतन्द्रिता नेहमान प्रजासर्गं बध्येहिं यद् अनुग्रहात्. Please tell me so that I may be taught in the matter by the instruction of the personality of Godhead, and may thus act instrumentally to generate living entities without being conditioned by such activities. यावत् सखा सख्युर्यवेशते कृतः प्रजाविसर्गे विभजामि भोजनम् अविक्लवस्ते परिक्रमणि स्थितो मामे समुन्नध मदोच मानिनः. O my Lord, the unborn, you have shaken hands with me just as a friend does with a friend, as if equal in position. I shall be engaged in the creation of different types of living entities, and I shall be occupied in your service. I shall have no perturbation, but I pray that all this may not give rise to pride, as if I were the supreme. श्रीभगवानुवाच ज्ञानं परं गुह्यमे यद् विज्ञानं समन्वितं Sarahasyam tad angam cha prana gaditam maya. The personality of Godhead said, knowledge about me as described in the scriptures is very confidential and it has to be realized in conjunction with devotional service. The necessary paraphernalia for that process is being explained by me. You may take it up carefully. यावान् अहं यथा भावो यद्रूपगुणकर्मकः तथैव तत्त्वविज्ञानम् अस्तु ते मद् अनुग्रहात्. All of me, namely my actual eternal form and my transcendental existence, color, quality, and activities, let all be awakened within you by factual realization out of my causeless mercy. अहम एवासम एवाग्रे नान्यद यत् सत् असत् परम पश्चाद अहम यत् एचत् एतच्च यो व्यवस्यते व्यवसिष्यते च सोऽस्मि अहम्. Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation when there was nothing but myself, nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead. And after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead. ऋतेरतं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि विद्यात् आत्मनो मायां यथा भाषो यथा तमः. O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. Know it as my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness. यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेष्व अनु प्रविष्टानि अप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम्. O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created and at the same time I am outside of everything. एतावत् एव जिज्ञास्यं तत्त्वज्ञानशूनात्मनः अन्वया व्यतिरेकाभ्यां यत् स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा. A person who is searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, must certainly search for it up to this in all circumstances, in all space and time, and both directly and indirectly. एतन्मतं समातिष्ठ परमेन समाधिना भवान् कल्प विकल्पेषु न मुह्यति करहिचेत्. O Brahma, just follow this conclusion by fixed concentration of mind, and no pride will disturb you, neither in the partial nor in the final devastation. श्रीसुकवाच सम्प्रदिश्यैव अर्जनो जनानां परमेष्टिनं पश्यत तस्य तद्रूपम् आत्मनो न्यरूढं sorry न्यरूनद् दरिहि. Sukadev Goswami said to Maharaj Parikshit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, after being seen in his transcendental form, instructing Brahmaji, the leader of living entities, disappeared. अंतर्हितेन्द्रियार्थाय हरे हरये विहितांजलिः विहितांजलिः सर्वभूतमयो विश्वं ससर्जेदं स पूर्ववत्. On the disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, who is the object of transcendental enjoyment for the sense of devotees, Brahma, with folded hands, began to recreate the universe full with living entities as it was previously. प्रजापतिर्धर्मपतिर्एकदा नियमान् यमान् भद्रं प्रजानाम् अन्विच्छन् आतिष्ठतः स्वार्थ काम्यया. Thus, once upon a time, the forefather of living entities and the father of religiousness, Lord Brahma, situated himself in acts of regulative principles, desiring self interest for the welfare of all living entities. Tam Narada Priyatamo Riktadanam Anuvratah Sushrushamana शीलेन प्रश्रयेण दमेन च. Narada, the most dear of the inheritor sons of Brahma, always ready to serve his father, strictly follows the instructions of his father by his mannerly behavior, meekness, and sense control. मायां विविदिशन् विष्णोर्मायेशस्य महामुनिः महाभागवतो राजन् पितरं पर्यतोषयत्. Narada very much pleased his father and desired to know all about the energies of Vishnu, the master of the energies of all energies. For Narada was the greatest of all sages and the greatest of all devotees, O king. तुष्टं निशम्य पितरं लोकानां प्रपितामह देवर्षि परिपपृच्छ भवान् यन्मानुपृच्छति. The great sage Narada also inquired in detail from his father Brahma, the great grandfather of all universe, after seeing him well satisfied. तस्माइदं भागवतं पुराणं दशलक्षणं प्रोक्तं भगवता प्राह प्रीतः पुत्राय भूतकृत्. Thereupon, the supplementary Vedic literature Srimad Bhagavatam, which was described by the personality of Godhead and which contains 10 characteristics, was told with satisfaction by the father Brahma to his son Narada. Narada Praha Munaye सरस्वत्यास्तते तटे नृप ध्यायते ब्रह्म परमं व्यासायामित तेजसे. In succession, O king, the great sage Narada instructed Srimad Bhagavatam unto the unlimitedly powerful Vyasadeva, who meditated in devotional service upon the personality, supreme personality of Godhead, the absolute truth, on the bank of river Saraswati. यतुताहं त्वया पृष्टो वैराजात् पुरुषात् इदं यथासीत् तत् उपाख्यास्ते प्रश्नान् अन्यांश्च कृष्णनस् कृत्स्नशः. O king, your questions as to how the universe became manifested from the gigantic form of the personality of Godhead, as well as other questions, I shall answer in detail by explanation of the four verses already mentioned. Hare Krishna. Thus ends the chapter 9 of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Answers by Citing the Lord's Version. Hare Krishna. Okay, I hope we have finished. I don't know what is time now. If someone can
Nine
estimate.
o'clock.
Sharp 9. Okay. If you can give me 10 minutes, which is also still less because we are talking about the slokas which are called Chatushloki of whole Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the purpose of reading Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavatam? Yeah, meditating on Bhagavatam is mentioned in four verses. But before going there, we just cover the glories of Vaikuntha, which is seen, witnessed by Brahma by the mercy of the Lord. So, yeah, so here the questions that Parikshit Maharaj asked, Shukadev Goswami is telling, I'm going to speak of what Lord Brahma has heard from, so Narada heard from Lord Brahma. So this is what it says. The Lord presented his eternal and transcendental form mm, before Brahma due to his performance of non deceptive penance. This is very important. Why? Because non-deceptive means to accept I am the soul and whatever I'm doing it for soul's benefit. Whatever we are doing is sometimes deceptive. Why? Because in the end we want Lord's mercy so that we can have a better bodily uh, uh, pleasure, yeah, or sense pleasure. So here what happened is when he gets in touch with the Lord, he is beyond time and Maya through bhakti. He becomes free from the conception of mine and mind. Yeah, I. So what happened when this happened? Parikshit Maharaj, second question about difference between body of the Lord and Jiva. This is also will be covered. Brahma who is the first spiritual master, seated on his lotus seat, which came actually from the navel of Lord Vishnu, could neither trace the source of that lotus. Just imagine that he was not sure what happened, from where he has come. So then, when he was in that situation, then at that time he heard tapa, tapa, and of course there is this further detail of what uh, Shukadeva Goswami was mentioning, that this was not, I mean, yeah, this was from the Sanskrit grammar from Sparsha, uh, um, uh, letters number 21 and 16, I think. When they combine together, it forms Tapa. Being unable to find the speaker, he thought it is wise to follow the instructions. When we can't see, what we should do is follow I mean, if you go in the purports, there is more elaborate explanation for them. he, he underwent penance for 1000 celestial years. How many years is that? That is in the purport, which is a big number, six times, blah, blah, blah. I mean, in the end, is just one such year, and then thousands of years is so many years he has done tapasya. He underwent penance for 1000 years, uh, and by concentrating his mind and controlling his pranas and senses. With that, he got darshan of the Lord, not just darshan of the Lord in the heart, he had darshan of the Lord in the Vaikuntha. The Lord showed Vaikuntha, being pleased with Brahma's penance. Vaikuntha is supreme planet, adorned by all self-realized persons and free from suffering, confusion, fear of offenses, and influences of modes, time and Maya. This is the description mentioned about Vaikuntha planet. Lord Brahma is seeing and he is able to say this. The, in, the inhabitants of Vaikuntha uh, are glowing, sky bluish complexion, lotus eyes, dressed in yellow garments, youthful, effulgent, having a pleasing demeanor, four-handed and decorated with shining earrings. This and in that way, and then Lord Brahma could see Mother Lakshmi Devi. Is engaged sometimes in serving Lord's lotus feet, at other times singing the glories, Lord's glories. Uh, she was enjoying the company of other associates, um, and like bees, yeah, black bees, who are buzzing around the flowers, the garland that Lord has has worn. Yeah. The Lord was sitting on his throne, surrounded by his energies like the four principles, which are the principles of Prakriti, Purusha, Mahatattva, ego. Then 16, the 16 elements, which are like five elements, sense elements, the 10 sense objects, and the mind, the five, um, and then the six natural opulences, and other insignificant energies, Ashtasiddhis. Thus, seeing the Lord, Brahma was overwhelmed with joy, in great ecstasy, and with tears he started. He paid obeisances and being pleased. The Lord invites Brahma to ask for benediction. Please ask for benediction from me. Why? Because because the Lord is the giver of all benedictions. This is one thing, Varesham. But you may know that the ultimate benediction of all penances is to see me. So the Lord is saying, what is the ultimate? Yeah, we may want to have so many things, so many things. No, ultimately, the best thing one can pray for is to have the darshan of the Lord, because by getting the darshan of the Lord, then everything, all the problems of life are solved. And not just the problems are solved, but one's good fortune of engaging in the service of the Lord in the spiritual world awakens. This darshan of my abode is the highest perfection. This has been possible because of your severe penance. So we cannot, yeah, we cannot daydream, we cannot night dream to be in Vaikuntha. It's not possible. One has to uh, have hard endeavor. He has to have a strict desire and determination to practice bhakti, without any deception, without any thoughts. Hmm. The penance in my heart is my heart and soul, and therefore penance and I are non-different. So we can meet the Lord through our tapasya. When we are performing tapasya, what is tapasya? Need not be that we go into a corner and just um, taking the holy name or absorbing in our own self. This is not what it means. Uh, Penance here can also mean, tapasya means to go through the middle life, but always uh, uh, disconnecting with the material world and connecting with the Lord as much as possible. That is tapasya. And of course, the more and more we are in Kali Yuga and it gets more degraded, the tapasya to be a devotee is also very, very appreciated. So penance is my heart and soul. Brahma said, being the super soul, you know everyone's desire and endeavors. So Brahma is saying, yeah, you know, of course, what, because Lord said, ask for benediction. Brahma says, you know, but okay, let me ask. Brahma asks questions. These questions are answered as the Chatushlokis. What are the questions? The first one is, please tell me about your material and spiritual forms. Because it's very difficult, yeah. Either we know, right? We have a material body, huh? Body is material, form, our form is material form. But the Lord has a spiritual form and also a material form. What is this? This is answered later. The next question is, how are the various spiritual and material energies of the Lord work? How are they working? What are the next question? What are the Lord's activities in relation to his material and spiritual energies? Last question. Please bestow your mercy for my execution of your instructions without pride and bondage. So here we see question 1 by Brahma in the above is similar to Parikshit Maharaj question, and question 2 and 3 are similar to Parikshit Maharaj question which he asked in the previous chapter. So in this way we can see that the questions that Parikshit Maharaj asked, who is a devotee, are very, very important. And Lord Brahma is asking these, and these four questions, Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is saying, he is answering. He's saying, the I will speak about Jnanam Vijnanam Sa Rahasyam Tad Angam. So he's saying, I am going to cover this fourth thing, Jnanam, which is covering your first question of Chatushloka. What is first question that Brahma asked? What did he ask? Please tell me about your material and spiritual forms. That is covered by Jnanam. Vijnanam, realization of that form that he covers in second. And Sarahasyam, what is the secret of that, which is prema bhakti? And then sa angam, tad angam sadhana bhakti, how to get there. This is so these four shlokas that the Lord says, he says this is what will be the basis for whole Bhagavatam that is going to be heard. By my mercy, by my mercy, you may attain perfect realization of the details about my form, qualities, and pastimes. So, what is the first Chatushloki slokam is saying in 33? Yeah, you may make a note. About the Lord's material and spiritual form, I alone existed before creation as the Lord of the spiritual world, after creation as the material universe, the super soul and his various avatars, after annihilation as the Lord of Vaikuntha. Aham evasam evagre nanyad yat sat asat param paschad aham yat etat cha yo vashishyate sa smyaham. So asmyaham. So the Lord is saying that I am existing always, yeah, whether it in the material way or the spiritual way, I have been existing all the time. So then the next question is about the Lord's energy. Whatever appears to be of any value, if it is not without relation to me, has no reality. It is my illusory energy. How to know what is the difference? What is the material energy? What is spiritual energy? Anything which is not related to Lord, we can consider that that is material energy. Riteratam yat pratiyata na pratiyata chatmani tad vidyad atmano mayam yata bhasho yata tamaha. This is what is saying. Lord is saying, tama. If it is not connected with me, then yeah, forget it. It's not. It's my material energy. Yeah. Then the third question. The Lord's activities in relation to his energy, what are they? I myself exist within everything created, and at the same time, I am outside of everything. Hmm? This is what is possible to see this only by prema bhakti. Only a person who doesn't have any doubt in the Lord and want to always engage in the loving service, so only he can accept it. Yatha mahanti bhutani bhuteshu chava cheshva anu pravishtani apravishtani tatha teshu na teshvaham. Hmm? Then finally, and the fourth one is one who is searching after the absolute truth must perform sadhana, bhakti, which is determined as the best process. Only by bhakti can one overcome bondage, pride, and lethargy. Etavad eva gnasyam tattva jnana sunatmanah anvaya व्यतिरेकाभ्याम यत् स्यात् सर्वत्र sarvada. Yeah. So this there is, I mean, good explanation about what is this in what is the summary of all this is to understand yeah, the next sloka, how to understand the deep meaning of this sloka is follow these instructions with extreme concentration, then you will never be bewildered. This is what Lord is answering to Brahmaji, that yes, there is a sense of a chance of getting pride, but if you follow these four shlokas to understand my greatness, then you will not have any problem. After instructing Brahma and having been seen in the transcendental form, the Lord disappeared. And then this is what the last verses 39 to 46 is saying. The Lord, the object of transcendental enjoyment for the sense of devotees, disappeared. Brahma then began to recreate universe. And once Lord Brahma, desiring the benefit of all living entities, followed rules and regulations to fulfill his desire. And thereupon Srimad Bhagavatam, which contains 10 characteristics, was told by Brahma to Narada. In succession, Narada instructed this to Vyasadeva, who meditated in the devotional service. And the last verse of this chapter is telling that these were the questions that were elaborated, so that all the remaining uh, subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam is revealed. What is that? I will explain how the universe became manifested from the material, from the universal form, and will answer all the other questions as well. Hmm? So this is what Brahmaji told to Narada, and this is how we can hear this parampara. It is coming. All these questions are answered, and it's now that we have heard it through Prabhupada making them available. Hmm. Yeah. So I will try to give this later. Hmm. There is a. I will make a screenshot of 1, 2, 3, 4. I will make a screenshot of this wonderful Chatushloki Bhagavatam in a very, very detailed way, which is gathered, collected by Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. He has put into his nice book. I don't know if you can again see this. Can someone read? Yep, Chatushlok, and then there is whole description. I can share that later. Otherwise, yeah, this itself can become a full day session. Thank you so much. Yep. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Any
Krishna.
particular verse that we want to look in? I mean, I didn't cover majority of the purport, yeah, but purports are very nice, through which we can understand how was the feelings of Brahmaji, and also Prabhupada is mentioning what is the serious endeavor one should put so that one can attain success. And there are many references that he is mentioned about the disciplic succession, and the very important point is need of a spiritual master. Why? Because here also Brahmaji was saying, "Oh, after you have given your darshan, you have given a shake hand to me, huh? And as if like a friend, and maybe I may get carried away and consider you of same level, but no, please help me." So here Brahmaji is accepting the Lord as his guru, yeah, spiritual master, and want to be very careful. And yeah, in this way we can see how the disciplic succession, which we call as Guru Parampara, is coming from, yeah, we can see from the Lord, from there to Brahmaji, to Narada, to Vyasa, Shukadeva Goswami, yeah, further. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Harsh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can we just briefly go through the purport for verse 21?
Oh yeah, 21 is very nice verse.
Yes.
Let me check quickly. Yeah, even when I was reading, I liked it.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yes. What do we want to see here?
I mean, we see that there are a lot of penances or lot of tapasya, but the Lord Himself is stating very directly, and there is no like no misconception. He is directly saying, "Is the result of all penances is to see me by realization."
Yeah.
So that is very strong statement, and it's also very positive. Like we should not get distracted
Yeah.
in tapasya and remember what is our goal.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's very nicely put. And mm, another aspect that I like in this verse is that, have you seen, I wish you good luck.
Yes.
The Lord wishes good luck. So this is very important. That also helps us to always remember, yeah, for example, that without benediction, without the blessings, it would be very difficult, even impossible, yeah, to attain such kind of to offer service to the Lord, whether it is small or big. So it is always very important that we see here that we seek Lord's blessings, and how we can do that by tapasya. When we really show our our what do you call, mm, guts to the Lord. Yes, I want to offer my best quality service. Then the Lord is blessing us all the best, and then we can see so many things happening, where we become a via transmission of His energy, which uh, yeah, so that's I like this part. I mean, I also appreciate what you found was nice, where it's very clear, crystal clear, that Lord is declaring that to see me is the best. Yeah, because in the purport, Prabhupada mentioned the impersonalists and the pseudo mystics, however, cannot reach this stage. Hmm?
Yes, bro. I just went to the slide. Yes, very a very bold statement and very good words. Yes.
Hmm. Okay, we stop at 21, 21, 21, and 21. Yeah. Okay, then thank you very much. पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद।